That's what I learned how to make at the library today. First I made that one, and then I just glued on the chickadee from home. So they gave out these free fruit cups too at the library, which is very nice. I made soup. James's looks a bit prettier. I'm going to review. Here are the Young Men, which got top of the stack. War of the Worlds, which was nominated for awards.
3 Academy Awards.
Yeah, I think so. Better Man.
I love that Rolling Stone cover.
And Le Mans got the bottom of the stack. But
it should be right on the deck.
This is the soup mix that I used, and then I just added tomatoes and, oh, James wants to show that that's what he's going to be talking about.
Yeah, previewing more than reviewing.
Yeah.
Here it goes.
So,
almost 900 pages of Dune here, and I've gone through close to 180, so that's about 20%, 1/5 of it.
So I don't know.
You got a few things to talk about while I taste this, or is it a little warm?
No, it's
better
perfect.
if I talk now. Yeah, it's better if I talk now.
I can handle things a lot hotter than James can.
Yeah, it doesn't matter if it's spice or if it's this one.
So I'm going to give one of these to my sister, and James thinks that my sister would like the one with the eagle more, and maybe she would. There were other people at the library that were doing this craft thing, and I can't remember what it was called, Spirit Corner or something like that. And they had the sense to put the eagle higher up on the accordion, so it actually looked like it was flying.
You mean like,
I didn't do
closer
it.
On the,
yeah, like higher.
Like this,
yeah.
It still looks pretty good.
Yeah. I didn't think of that. But anyway.
You thought of it for the chickadee though.
I did. I put the chickadee right in the front. So, anyway, because I had a picture of a chickadee at home, and I thought, well, you know, I can still put a bird in there. And then I was like, so which one do you like better now? And James was like, I think your sister would like this one more still. Because he thinks this one looks a little bit kind of depressing or whatever, because it's fall and winter.
Not the chickadee,
whatever.
But it's kind of fall.
Whereas this one's more hopeful.
Well, it's springtime.
Yeah.
The colors are really vibrant. Sometimes, you know, when fall is coming on, it's better, especially up in Grand Prairie, it's better to have the
reminder of
hope.
Yeah, that spring will come again.
Because it's probably a whole lot more. But you've said that there really isn't much of a fall up in Grand Prairie. It's basically two
Not
seasons.
Usually, but I mean,
summertime.
This year is a very weird season for here, or a year for here.
Yeah.
So
who knows
I don't know
like
what
up there.
What's going on up there this year. Like, we've never had hugely productive tomatoes now.
This late
Never.
in
Never.
season. Well, it's still like summer. So.
Yeah.
And it's well into September now.
Yeah.
It's getting close to the
End of
equinox, which is, for me, it's when things tend to turn here, because then the days get shorter than the nights after the equinox.
I got this for free from the food truck, and it looks pretty good for ingredients. It says to add optional, add carrots, potatoes, celery, onions, or spices. And
you've done that. It's basically beets and tomatoes here.
Yes, I added beets and tomatoes because that's what I had.
Quinoa. No, the quinoa you just put in here.
Yeah, I just put it. I'd already cooked it, and so I wanted to use this bread bowl for the soup, and my angels, like, I asked them, can I use this bread bowl for the soup? Will it hold the soup? And they said no. And then I said, okay, well, what if I put it in a different dish, and I said, can I do it now? And they said no. And then I said, can I put quinoa in there? And they said yeah. And so I guess the quinoa absorbed enough of the moisture that they said it would work.
We used this bread bowl for a salad, right?
Yes, and then kept it in the fridge.
The bottom of it was getting a little thin.
Yeah. So, because I don't like to waste the bread bowls, since James still hasn't torn it apart to make sandwiches or whatever. So I thought, well, I can still use it for something, to be a meal. And because it's way more fun having soup or salad in a bread bowl than in a regular bowl.
This one was kind of a cheese
Yes.
bread
So
bowl.
that makes it even more
There's
fun.
more cheese on this side than there is on this, but what the heck.
Yeah. Anyway, this was a revelation. Here are the young men. I didn't, at first when I put it on, I was like, ugh. I'd watched so many movies that seemed sort of homemade or whatever. Seemed, well, kind of low budget, like university. When I say homemade, I mean like university art project or something, or like, which is not necessarily a bad thing because, say, Eraserhead. I think that literally was a university art project by David Lynch. You'd have to check it out.
It was
to see
that
if I'm
early
right.
for him.
Yeah,
Okay.
it was a very early production for him, and it's awesome. So, and it definitely has that sort of feel. It has like it's his baby, whatever.
Then there's the other side of the coin. It did very well. It was that one that was, I got motion sick watching it. It was like in the, some teenagers were in the forest.
Oh, Blair Witch.
Blair Witch Project?
Blair Witch Project has a very, well,
Homemade
honestly,
kind of
it
feel?
was a very low budget, I think, for that one, and it
Yeah.
has a film school art project, you know.
It looks
Assignment,
like something coming
sort
out
of.
of high school. Did
Yeah.
you like that one? Or
I did not.
Me
My
neither.
dad phoned me up, and he was very worried about those kids. He thought it was real, and he was very worried. I assured him it's not real. It's just a made up movie.
I sat
Which-
in the front. Oh, go
And
on,
we'll talk
finish
about
the-
that later
Yeah.
because it's interesting that you brought it up because War of the Worlds, well, this is the movie, and James thought that this was the thing that everybody believed was real. But no, this one was made in the 50s and 1952.
I just forgotten.
And there
it was
had been a radio War of the Worlds. So that's the thing that people, I guess I'd learned about that in junior high school, that, you know, the power of the media sort of thing. I guess people thought it was real. It was a radio broadcast, and they thought the world was literally being invaded by aliens.
Yeah, and the weird thing is, I think this is in the United States. It was in 1939, and the Americans were going, we don't have to worry about Germany. They're the real aliens, the Nazis. They waited until Germany declared war on them, like more than 2 years later.
So, here are the young men. Wow. I mean, this is scary and everything. War of the Worlds, the threat of aliens invading the planet, whatever. But this was so scary. It's the kind of movie you get to the end and it's like you're just kind of stunned. You sit there and you're like, oh my God. Everybody should watch this if you're maybe not so sensitive. Like I don't think children should watch this or anything like that, right? But if you can handle it, this is powerful. It's about 3 high school grads that celebrate their freedom. I mean, they're bad boys. They do. The one guy.
Is it on their
the bigger
graduation
picture-
night?
Well, a lot of people act out on their graduation. Yeah.
True.
But no, they just really they keep going. So the first they target the high school and some, I don't know if he was principal or teacher, but they didn't like him, so they target his car. Stuff like that, right? But as much as that's terrible, you kind of expect that sort of thing. But really, the 3 boys the one of them, he's not so bad. You think, okay, well, he might be able to, I mean, these are young guys, he might grow up a little bit, and he might fit into society and not be a hazard, whatever. The one of the friends is more of a hazard to himself. So he talks about it a lot, how he doesn't feel anything. And he knows that he should feel something, but he doesn't feel anything. And that concerns him, right? But he's a hazard to himself. The other guy, though, he is very aggressive and a hazard to maybe everyone else on the planet. He's a dangerous guy. So you see him on the cover here holding a gun.
Oh, okay.
And you don't know where he's going to stop, really. But, so there's some kind of, it's not only this guy who's scary and you're like, what's going to happen? What's going to happen? Where's it going to stop with this guy? But it's also that there's kind of, there's a secret message in, well, there's that. That's scary enough too. But there's messages behind the movie. Like there's this show that the aggressive guy likes that shows America. He's really into America. He loves America, and he thinks America's just the greatest thing because it's a man can be a man in America and whatever. And you can see that the show that he likes watching, well, they do a lot of drugs, these three boys. So it's hard to know what they're seeing, what of it is actually what other people would be seeing, or you know what I mean. But this aggressive guy, he likes this announcer on the show that is a real man kind of thing, and he at one point, now this would have just been in his head, you know, his stoned head, but the announcer grabs a woman by the crotch, and she's like, don't consent to this. I don't consent to this, right? And so there's the whole thing with him wearing a big American hat and whatever, like a top hat that looks like that guy pointing for
Uncle Sam.
Yeah, whatever. So that makes you think, okay, well, the whole grabba that Trump said, right? Yeah. And then you're later on with what ends up happening in the story. The reason why you just sit there kind of stunned is you go, oh, is this the message that they're trying to give to whoever's watching this, to take matters into their own hands? And I don't want to give it away. But I definitely want to talk about this because this needs to be talked about. But vigilante. So honestly, I think this is encouraging vigilantism to the extreme, targeting specific kinds of people. And you know that I'm not for, I don't like aggressive people. I don't want to have to deal with, like James and I have talked about it, in cities, you let aggressive people just, have their freedom, whatever. And it's like, okay, so then law-abiding people have to lock their doors. They don't have their freedom. So then they have to be imprisoned. Everyone else is imprisoned so that aggressive people can have more freedom. It doesn't make sense. So, but at the same time, this made me feel kind of scared at the end of it. So, definitely watch it.
So let me just emphasize.
Okay.
It might seem Pauline's overstating, but she's not. People have locked themselves in. They're locking themselves in a cell. And then people who are got problems don't keep them to themselves, like people should be in mental institutions. Mm-hmm. People who've been treated to the revolving door kind of thing they have for a lot of types of criminals should be in jails, and they're not. They're roaming the streets, and that's a huge loss of freedom. When you can't be out, especially for women, when you can't be out and about,
but
even in the daytime.
And really, this movie is sort of, maybe it's a cautionary tale. Maybe it's telling us, because we see at the beginning, these guys, they vandalize the school, they vandalize somebody's personal vehicle very badly. Nothing happens to them. So maybe this is telling people, look, if nothing happens to aggressive people when they do things, that all of the rest of society, working people, are going to have to pay for this, you know? When they get away with this sort of behavior, what options do people have to deal with them? They have to deal with them. Something has to happen. Anyway, whew, that was powerful.
Sometimes it's not even grad. When I was a kid, grade 6 in Calgary, the 3 socially dominant kids in our grade were, one of them was one of the more intelligent guys, and we were in intelligent class, so what was considered intelligent class. And then one guy was the best athlete in the whole school, because it was elementary school, and then one was just a little weasel that hung with him, but they were socially dominant. So we turned up one Monday, and someone, and the word got around the school very quickly who it was. It was these 3 scumbags. Had smashed a huge number of windows at the school. It was one of these bigger, you know, it's bigger than the Swanhaven school that you went to.
Thank you, library. If you're interested in doing the Spirit Corner thing, I guess it's the 3rd Thursday of every month. And they do different things, so I don't know.
At the downtown library.
Yeah, the main branch.
So she got I think 2 fruit bowls, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then 2 of these art projects.
Well, there were lots of these. I don't know why people weren't taking them. So at the end, I heard one of the women saying, "Do you want to take more of those fruit bowls?" or whatever. So I thought, I do.
So this is grade 6ers doing. There were lots of windows broken. So I'm going to give their initials of the first name, R, D, and M.
It's amazing that grade 6 students would do that.
They were socially dominant, and they were mean. Not the M guy, the big athlete. He was a nice guy. Most people liked him, but the other 2, the most intelligent guy of the 3, and that little Weasley guy hung with him. I think they were older than the other kids.
Delish.
Anyway, sorry about that. I just thought I'd throw that in. You guys know who you are. You guys are 3 scumbags.
Yep, they probably are. Just bigger.
Yeah, one of them for sure would be a management person.
So, War of the Worlds. This was really entertaining to watch. I enjoyed it very much. But it's based on, I think they called it the greatest sci-fi book of all times or something like that. So it's
H.G. Wells.
Yeah.
It's got huge rep because of the radio thing, and then the movie as well.
Yeah, well, because of the radio thing, it's
notorious.
But anyway, So I definitely think this is worth watching.
I watched a bit of it, and it was actually for 1953. The special effects I saw were
Pretty good.
pretty special.
Yeah.
Even nowadays,
Yep.
it's kind of convincing. Someone put some money and thought it.
Mm-hmm. So, Better Man. Now, I don't understand why this is a... It must be completely fictional. I mean, given that...
It's not Dave Betterman, is it?
Entertainer Robbie Williams, but you can see he looks like a chimpanzee.
Mm-hmm.
Well, he looks like a... Honestly, while I was watching this, I was trying to figure out, okay, why? Why did they make him look like a chimpanzee with, like, human body? So he looks like, just terrier. So he looks like one of the Planet of the Apes guys.
Is Robbie
honestly...
Williams a black guy? I don't know.
I don't
Anyway,
know.
it seems kind of...
But his parents in this are not.
Okay.
So, at first I was concerned about that they were trying to do some sort of racist thing or whatever. I don't think anyone would do that nowadays. But, I don't know. But this is supposed to be the story how he sees himself. And so maybe then you could, but still I don't think anyone should. So, anyway, at first I was concerned about that. I didn't know where it was going. And I still, honestly, having watched it, I don't know why. I'm like, okay, maybe there were a bunch of the Planet of the Apes guys were out of work and they were like, hey, what can you guys do for us? Wow, we're really great at doing this Planet of the Apes stuff. I don't know. I don't understand what the whole chimpanzee thing was. Maybe it makes it a little more entertaining because really it's a story about a guy who's a musician and he's in a boy band and then he's and the boy band stuff is so funny. There's one scene where a guy is wearing like chaps and nothing, like it's like very racy. Yes, there's bare bums shown in they dress into their costumes, and the one guy says, you're making us look bad or something like that, or you're embarrassing the band or something like that. And it's like, and he's walking away and you see his bum and it's like, okay, yeah, nothing anybody could do could be worse than putting those guys in those costumes. That's ridiculous. But, so that was funny.
Oh, yeah.
And there's a lot of things in here that are funny. And it's a little bit long, 135 minutes, but there's entertaining music and dancing, really great camera angles, like they've really thought things out. So compare this to, I was reviewing, what is her name, Elle Fanning or something? Teen Spirit. Man, that was terrible. Compare that to how this worked out. This is far better. I would recommend that, like, luckily I watched this and then I watched this right after and I was like, I felt a lot better, because this is some heavy stuff. And because you don't know what happened, what all the very aggressive guy, you don't know what he did or had other people do. You don't know.
So spoiler alert.
Yeah, it's some scary stuff. So watching this really lightened things up afterwards. Even though there's some serious things in this, even though they had the guy look like a chimpanzee sort of or whatever. Serious issues about major drug abuse and stuff like that, right? Like, he's doing so much drugs. And there was a lot of drugs in this one too. Lots and lots of drugs. So
don't try that at home or on the road, folks.
But yeah, it's entertaining. I enjoyed watching it.
I love the cover, the Rolling Stone cover.
Yeah. There's some great. They've thought things through in that. I don't know. I still don't understand the whole chimpanzee thing, but whatever. It did make it sort of more entertaining, really. having a chimpanzee dancing around
Yeah.
and singing.
You know, I collect music videos, and I just, whatever's available, you get them for 10 cents, I think now.
Yeah.
So I've got maybe 4 Backstreet Boys one.
Oh my gosh. Oh, and another thing, I loved how their manager was first booking them, the boy band, in gay clubs, to perform in gay clubs, and then after that they were performing for young girls. But that was funny. So there were
Anyway,
a lot of
these guys
funny
are
things in there.
Oh, sorry.
No, go ahead.
These guys are really professional. You know, the boy
Yeah.
band's in sync.
Sure.
I think is better than whatever. But
Mhm.
I think Backstreet Boys. I had some more looks.
Oh, okay.
A couple
I
of
don't
guys
know.
with big nostrils. Literal is the name of one of them. I had a preacher, his last name was Literal, came from the south. Literal. Anyway, but Nick Carter, he ended up being like a mature heartthrob. He's still selling albums, you know. He's kind of like the Michael Bolton for his generation or something like that. But it made me laugh because he started running to pounds in his teens. You know, he's the youngest one. So for a while they were kind of trying to hide him. But I think he was the big heartthrob. He was the blonde one. Maybe you don't know. I suspect you don't.
No, don't care at all. So, Le Mans, this is in English. Stars Steve McQueen, you can see.
And he actually has brown hair there, but he has his regular color
1971.
hair. See how brown it is?
Yeah. So, this, I guess it was a bit long, 108 minutes, but I fell asleep, so I feel good about it. I was awake for the first 51 minutes. I commented on, oh, it's amazing, it's been playing for 51 minutes.
I don't know how she stayed awake
And
for that long.
Then I fell asleep shortly after that, and
Guaranteed
James came in to talk to
soporific.
me a little bit, and I was like, I'm trying to sleep. He went away again, and I fell
apologize.
asleep again.
She was really zoned, so
Yeah.
it wasn't like drifting in and out.
No.
So I felt bad
then
about
I woke up
waking
near
up.
the end, and I felt pretty good about that. And they have the whole, like, when the race is won, they have huge champagne bottles, huge.
Oh,
I don't
yeah,
know if
and
they
then
really
they
do
spray it around.
Yeah, spraying it all over, so like ejaculating champagne all over the place.
Now they do that
but-
in other sports, but it's not the usual, not those big things that
Yeah.
they're as big as water barrels.
That must, to get a champagne bottle that big, that must cost a couple $1,000s or something. It was huge.
Well, this
So-
is France after all, Le Mans, or Le Mans,
Okay.
however you want to say. It's France, so yeah, probably as cheap as dirt.
So
They probably
I-
just got 7-Up in it.
I borrowed this because I was thinking of my mom and dad, because my mom and dad used to love watching, well, any kind of race car stuff, but they preferred the stuff that, you know, drives through the countryside in Europe. And so I thought that's what this was going to be, but it is on, it's a track.
The
of some
racetrack
sort.
at
So
Le Mans.
They drive for 4 hours straight.
And they run in shifts,
And
right?
yeah, so I don't really know. I don't understand the point of any of these race car things, but like I said, my parents were really into it, so they might. My mom might be able